Welcome, my name is Evelina, and today I'm going to talk to you about my decision to leave social media 4 months ago and how has that been for me. In October 2023, it was towards the end of October, maybe around the 20th, I reached a point in my life where I had zero value of being on social media. And I really needed to reevaluate myself and my life and where I was heading and focus on those things. And social media was nothing but distraction and kind of feeding into my low points. So I deactivated the apps and deleted them. I only really used Instagram. I had a Facebook, but the only reason why I had a Facebook was because when I was doing my breathwork practitioner training, I needed to be in these private groups, and that was in 2022. So all the people I connected through the course and my teachers, I kind of kept it. And that's it. I never used Twitter, Snapchat, or anything like that. So it was mainly Instagram. A few months before, I wasn't really posting, to be honest, and I wanted to post only things that I wanted them to bring value to people. And because I was trying to figure that part along with breathwork, I couldn't figure it out the way to do it and express myself. So I was kind of basically not posting. I was posting stories and stuff, but not a lot. And it was more looking through things on Instagram. Something I learned in the process of being off social media is that just because you see all this valuable information, it doesn't mean that you need it right now. And it's overwhelming and it's overstimulating. I was already reducing my posts, and I just reached the point that I needed to get off of it. And I did it. And the first thing that I experienced was the need to scroll and look. And that was that was weird. I didn't know what to do with myself. So I decided I'm going to go through my photos, and it's finally time to delete all the unnecessary photos I have and screenshots and all that. And I did start with the screenshots. Something interesting I discovered in the process of doing that, everything that's happened to me for the past 2 years, I manifested. There were just weird connections to things that happened to me. And some things I manifested 101, like copy paste. So if you want to try to go through your screenshots a couple of years back and look through them and tell me, did they become true in any way? It doesn't matter what you were looking at. It doesn't matter what you were interested in. Eventually, I guarantee you, it manifested in your life. Another thing I was doing is because I wanted to learn the marketing process of social media and how to basically put my business out there in a way that is unique to me, and it's not just how everybody is doing it, in the way that presents me. But it wasn't overwhelming. And it was overwhelming for me because I didn't know how. So I needed to learn how. So I enrolled in this course for social media marketing, and I started learning a lot of things. And I learned that unless you're making money off of social media, there's no point for you to be there. If you don't have a big following, your content is not reaching anybody. Your cute photos that you're posting, it doesn't matter, really. I learned that everything is made to make money off of us, and we are the product. Even though people do make money off of the app, they do make money because they're using the full potential of the app. If you're not using the full potential of the app, no point. You're trapped in the ego trap, is what I like to call it. And not to be a hater, because I loved Instagram, but it's unrealistic. It's not real. And it's such a trap. Another thing that I learned while being off social media was all the people you talk to disappeared. They disappeared with the app. Very little of them actually will continue to talk to you, if none. What this time has taught me is the value of the conversations that I have, not just that I've had on social media, but that I have in general with people. I realized that a lot of the connections that I made on Instagram were based on sharing memes and reels and laughing to things that are not really productive or benefiting me or making me grow in any way. And it was more like bonding over pointless content or confirming. That's another thing, like confirming certain things, especially if you're going through trauma healing and internal work and all these spiritual stuff. Even certain things that has happened to you and you read them on a post is like confirmation. It's like affirmation, and you continue to kind of manifest that. And I'm going to make a separate video about this, but yes, the quality of the conversations and how many people actually will be there if it wasn't for social media. Another thing is how we've lost the connection. Unless you go out there and physically talk to somebody, which we have turned to be something that we avoid because of the apps and the way that we've learned to communicate, you can feel lonely. Luckily, I don't care. I could do things on my own. So I wasn't really suffering. But even though I still felt it, okay? I felt it. The thing is that on Instagram, whenever people are posting and you're seeing other people's life, most of the people that do the same things are doing them because they see somebody who is happy doing whatever they're doing. And they're happy because it's what they like. But most people are looking at the happiness of people, and they think that if they do the same thing, they'll be happy too. And it's not true. And you have to work on your own happiness and how you bring the best out of yourself and inspire other people. Another big realization was the attention span. Scrolling and having this 15-second, 60-second information being delivered to you and going to the next one. And that's how my attention was too. And once I was off social media and I was doing things, if I was reading a book, for example, which, by the way, is another thing I discovered, that I had a book addiction. I'll talk to you about this in a little. But if I wanted to read a book and I was reading it, and shortly I will be transferred to another book because I thought there's more, like, other things that I wanted to learn. And I would go from one to another to another to the fifth, and I couldn't finish them because I was trained to only be interested for a short amount of time. So that was something I noticed in my addiction to books, because I love information and I want to know everything now, if possible. I stopped buying books and I started reading the books that I bought. And until I'm done with that, I'm not buying anymore. I do have a wish list, but that's different. The positives: you have so much more time. After a while, maybe 2 months, you start to feel like this urge of knowing and wanting to know everything that's going on is fading away, and you have a lot of time. That's the other thing. I always thought that I didn't have time, yet I spent all this time on the apps. And now it feels like I have time. I have time to do things. And I don't feel pressure. I don't feel rush. I don't feel need to be validated. And you realize that you could do everything that you want to do. My decision is just to do YouTube for right now. And when I'm ready, if I don't know, honestly, I am actually looking for different ways to interact with people that are not involving social media. I think that there's a lot more productivity being off social media. Social media is a great tool. I don't want to say that it's bad or anything. It's bad if you don't use it correctly, and most people don't. That's all I'm saying. So unless you have a plan and unless you're going to make money off of it, or you're going to impact people positively, there's no point to be there. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.